An international train slowly pulled into the station. Before the wheels had even fully stopped, a large group of heavily armed soldiers suddenly rushed in from all directions. They were wearing gas masks, along with heavy protective suits, and within seconds they completely surrounded the train. Before the passengers could even understand what was happening, all the doors and windows had already been welded shut from the outside. No one was allowed to get off, and no one dared to come close. This was not a military drill. A deadly viral outbreak was spreading rapidly across the train. The story takes place in Geneva in 1976. Three extremists wanted to create international panic, so they disguised themselves as doctors and patients and successfully infiltrated the headquarters of the World Health Organization. According to their original plan, they only needed to detonate a bomb to create large-scale chaos, but they clearly underestimated the building's security. Not long after entering the building, the guards at the entrance sensed something suspicious. Realizing his cover had been blown, the terrorist disguised as a patient immediately pulled out a gun and opened fire. One guard was shot down on the spot, but as he collapsed, the guard instinctively pulled the trigger as well. The bullet struck one of the terrorists directly in the chest. The situation instantly spiraled out of control. The remaining two accomplices fled deeper into the building in panic, trying to find a safe place to detonate the bomb. But the gunshots had already attracted more armed guards. In the chaos, the two men ran into a virus laboratory. During the exchange of gunfire, a bullet suddenly hit a glass container on the lab table. The glass instantly shattered. Inside was a deadly virus codenamed pneumonic plague. The infected liquid splashed everywhere and landed directly on one terrorist's face. The intense pain caused him to collapse and convulse on the floor. The other terrorist was completely terrified. He didn't even try to help his partner. Instead, he smashed the window and jumped out to escape. Meanwhile, the terrorist lying on the floor was already showing severe signs of infection. None of the guards dared to approach him, because they knew the virus did not belong to the WHO. It was actually a highly dangerous pathogen secretly stored there by the US military. Soon, a US Army colonel named John arrived at the scene. Surprisingly, his first reaction was not to save lives, but to cover up the incident. He then urgently called in a doctor. After examining the infected man, Daisy's expression immediately turned grim, because the man had been infected with an extremely contagious pneumonic plague virus. Even worse, there was currently no cure for the virus. What Daisy truly couldn't understand was why the US military would secretly store such a dangerous virus inside WHO headquarters. This clearly violated United Nations regulations. Daisy immediately confronted John about it, but her words instantly darkened the colonel's expression.
Listen, Doc. Some half-mad terrorists had tried to blow up this building in the name of peace. It would be in this mess.
John's response completely revealed his true attitude. He didn't care why the virus had leaked, nor did he care about the secrets behind it. All he wanted was to bury the incident completely. Only after confirming the infected man's death did John reveal an even more terrifying piece of news. There wasn't just one infected person in the lab. Another infected man had escaped. That terrorist had already boarded an international train headed for Stockholm. The train would pass through several European countries and countless cities and stations. If the virus spread inside the train cars, the entire train would become a moving source of infection. Even so, John still refused to reveal the truth immediately, because in his eyes, keeping the US military out of scandal was more important than the virus itself. The virus itself was terrifying, but the real disasters are often caused not by the virus, but by the people who know the truth and still choose to hide it.